objective of the compensation management is always to achieve strategic reward scheme that is rewarding employees for what the organization values and what to pay for. Your reward scheme is not strategic if you are paying for what is not valuable to the organization. For instance, that I have been long in a position is not what brings value to an organization, because a person who was recruited yesterday may be even bringing much more strategic value than you by impacting the bottom line than you do. So we structure our compensation management to reward employees for what the organization values and what to pay for, not just what the employees wants to be paid for. So that if I ask you, therefore, what is strategic reward scheme? It's a scheme that rewards the employee for what the organization values and what the organization wants to pay for. Another objective of your compensation management will be to reward for value created. I have emphasized this time and time again. You are rewarding for value created, for how you have moved the organization towards its mission as it goes ahead towards its vision. We have some strategic goals. What has been your contribution? Do you have nil contribution, or you know, if it's measured, you are the one that has contributed the most towards our strategic goals? So we want to be able to be equitable and fair in our reward system by rewarding for value created. Else, you will find that high performers will drop the ball if they see that, well, whether I work and I don't work, we are paid the same way. This discourages high performance. Likewise, the objective of a compensation management framework is therefore to develop a performance culture. Performance culture means that everyone is working and self-driven because they know that there is a reinforcer, there is a reward based on value created. So performance culture is therefore created. It's not, like the line manager or HR has to breathe upon their neck all the time, because they know that there is a system and structure that rewards value created. So what is driving them is internal motivation, not just external incentive. So by what I've said here, I have differentiated between incentive and motivation. Incentive is only when you are driven from the external. Motivation is when you are driven from the internal. And motivation is the focus of a performance culture. People are self-driven. And this is what is sustainable. When you look at achieving great organizations, it leads to sustainable, growth and sustainability in the long run. Another objective of compensation management, therefore, is to motivate, as I've said, not just to incentivize, to motivate them so that you will obtain their commitment and engagement. Don't forget, we discussed engagement in one of our series. Do you remember what engagement is?
Yes, sir.
Can you?
When employees give discretionary performances beyond their job expectations.
Beautiful. So discretionary, they go out of the call of duty. They are sold out even to the organization that this is our thing. All right. No. So your compensation system, if it's not equitable, you will be impinging and discouraging your employees to be engaged. If everyone every year just receive the same, because we are all managers, we just receive the same thing, not evaluating whether this manager contributed more and created more value, then it will discourage engagement. I will just work to rule. Or if no matter what I do, it seems I'm not saying one of the things that the compensation management system or framework does is it creates visibility in terms of value creation, because everyone will be able to see that yes, this person is being rewarded this way or promoted this way because it creates value, and so it will become something aspirational to the entire organization. Likewise, a good compensation management framework therefore helps to attract and to retain high quality talents. When your compensation management is competitive, is equitable, the news soon goes out to high talents, and you begin to receive even unsolicited CVs, at least among your own comparator set in the industry. So when you have a good, well-rounded, well-managed compensation framework, it is not difficult to attract talents. And it also encourages those talents to stay and to remain in the organization. Another objective of compensation management, even that has a good framework, is to develop positive employment relationship and psychological contracts. Positive employment relationship where it's linked to engagement, the staff and management relationship, we have less of crisis, we have less of friction, because everyone sees it as it is equitable. Everyone knows why you are rewarded the way you are rewarded. Everyone knows that it is not because you are in the good books of the MD as the MD's own relative. That's why you are being paid much more than the person who is doing better work than that relative. So when everyone sees that it is fair, it is equitable, then positive employment relations develop. And this is what makes employees to have what we call psychological contracts. They begin, and psychological contract is a very, very strong aspect of engagement, because they are have you seen people being offered higher pay by competitors, and the staff says, no, I don't want to leave. I like my boss. It is because that employee has developed a psychological contract beyond the financial contract or the financial benefits that he's receiving from that organization. So when he feels he's treated fairly, equitably, psychological contracts begin to develop. So I'm saying there are 5 things that shows whether you have an effective compensation management system. 5 things, write them down, that shows that you have an effective compensation management system or framework. The compensation must be transparent. It must be clear. The basis for which you reward one person higher than the other, that's transparency. It must be fair. It rewards value created, not likability. It must be equitable. Fairness means you are not also underpaying below what the economy demands. And that's where that COLA payment I said comes in. Fairness also presupposes that within your comparators in the industry, you are not paying too low, else you will lose your staff members. While equitable means you are being paid based on the internal value created. And so people can say, yes, and that's why it links to transparency. Transparency means people see and they understand why and how people are paid the way they are paid. Equitable means it is linked to internal value created. Fairness means, look, even vis-a-vis organizations, that you compete with. Okay, you are not at an unfair disadvantage as to now lose your key employees to those organizations. So equitable, I repeat, has to do with internal value created. It is just also when it is equitable. It's just. It is not based on sentiments when it is just. It is not based on subjectivity when it is just. So just can be objectivity. That's another word for just. It's objective. It's based on something that has been measured. So if there are no performance management and you just dish out things to people at the end of the day, they may not know whether you have been just because there is no basis. And the last of the quality of an effective management framework for compensation management is that it must be consistent. If Mr. A attained this KPI, he will receive this. Therefore, if anyone in the organization, whether it's a relative of the chairman or the son of the MD, if they achieve that same KPI, they will be given similar reward that has been stipulated in your reward policy. Not below, not above. So consistency means it is replicable. It has been systematized. And this is what makes people to feel, it is just, it is equitable, it is fair, it is transparent. So replicability, not just at the whims and caprices of the management. That's what makes it consistent. So don't forget these 5 characteristics of an effective compensation management system or framework: transparency, fairness, equitability, just, and consistent. Okay, this is good. So at this level,